What's up, everyone? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. As always, I'm your host Craig, and look, tonight is going to be a bit more of an informal, relaxed show, ladies and gents. Anything at all you guys want to talk about, lash it into the chat there, and I'll do my best to get through it. We will, of course, talk about the FABINHO and GINI contract situations. We'll have a little look ahead to the game against Midtjylland coming up on Wednesday, but of course, if you want full disclosure on that one, our preview is going out tomorrow. I recorded it just before the stream today, so my predicted 11 with score predictions, all that stuff, that'll be going up tomorrow. And also tomorrow we'll be dropping the full 55-minute interview with Ian Brewster, who is of course Rian's dad. Again, that comes in association with our sponsors Boyle Sports, so thank you for all of your help and support as well. And look, if you do fancy a little flutter on tomorrow's game, you know where to head over to. There's a link in the description which helps them let it know who we sent over. So if you are going to sign up to Boyle Sports, and of course you will get a free bet as well when you sign up and deposit there, make sure that you do it with our link in the description, folks. And we've loads to get through, so look, how are we all feeling? I see a load of people into the chat. John, Ricky, Dara, Mark, how are we, everybody? Kevin Smith is in as well, Scary Ninja, Elevator Kid, Killian, loads of other people, George as well. How are we all, folks? Really appreciate you giving up some of your evening again to come and have a chat with me. Is everybody else still buzzing over that win yesterday? Because I tell you what, I haven't come down. I haven't calmed down from it. I'm still walking on air. I couldn't see a 4-0 win coming. I really couldn't, but we played brilliantly yesterday. Another clean sheet for Queevy and Kelleher. Another excellent display for Curtis Jones as well. Look, the positives just keep coming. Players coming back from injury. Keita getting minutes. Trent getting minutes. It's beautiful and it makes me happy and it makes me smile. I slept like a baby last night, and usually my mind's racing, but the Reds have got me a bit calmer these days. And with the fact we know that a lot of the senior pros are going to get a break now until the game against Fulham coming up at the weekend, because we will be sending a bare bones squad, I would say, over to take on Midtjylland. Well, that's my guess anyway, on Wednesday. And I know a lot of people were talking about the youngsters and stuff like that, but it is also important to point out that some of these youngsters aren't eligible, aren't registered, or aren't even on the B list. I did see somebody in the chat ask, will Billy Cometio be available? Yes, he is on the B list. He is available for Jurgen Klopp to choose if he wants. The likes of Nat Phillips as an example, he isn't on the list, so Klopp won't be able to turn to him for this game. Reece Williams, yep, he's on the list. Nico, yep, he's on the list. Queeveen's on the list as well. So look, watch that preview video tomorrow. You'll see my score prediction on that one as well. But tonight, whatever you want to talk about, folks, let's have a bash. Hello, as I said to everybody in as well. I want to give a little shout out to somebody who's not, I think, in the chat at the minute, but somebody who's doing really helpful work for us behind the scenes, and that's Chris Legit. Himself and Dara Azizi there in the chat are two people who are really helping us try and sort out our conquering of the USA, if you want to put it that way. We're going to be heading over there later next year, and the guys are already starting to put the groundwork in for us, touching out to supporters clubs and stuff like that over there as well. So I can't thank Chris enough, I can't thank Dara enough, and as always, nothing but love for all you guys, for all the amazing support you've given us. If you have a little look up into the top left corner there, folks, you'll see that we've hit 59,000 subscribers, which is more than we ever dreamt of. So again, thank you for that. The march to 60 continues, and loads of stuff coming up this week. We've got on tomorrow night on Mundo Sporto, I'm going to be doing a live watch along of Manchester United's trip to Germany to take on RB Leipzig, which is a very important game in that group. So if you haven't subscribed to Mundo Sporto, please have a look in the description of the stream. There's a link there. I think we're only about 40 off hitting 2,500 on that, and for a brand new channel, we're over the moon with that. So if you want to join us tomorrow, we'll be going live in about 20 minutes before kick-off, and again, Mundo Sporto for that one. Right, what have we got? Hi Craig, who do you think's been our best player of the season so far? I'm thinking Robertson. I think, John, that's a good show. I think Andy Robertson has had a tremendous season so far. You know what, mate? I won't really disagree with you. I think he's been fantastic, and again, the fitness levels. But I think you can't look past GINI either. And I say that also because of the amount of minutes that the man has played, be it for Holland or for Liverpool. Always fit, always ready, always available, and always puts in a solid shift. But again, it is very early into the season to be looking at, player of the year and stuff like that. What do I think of Mina Raiola's comments? Again, about Pogba, look, the more hassle and strife and drama that's going on at Manchester United, the better. We can all just sit back, relax and laugh. Laugh at the Pogba situation, laugh at the fact they paid £90 million for him, and laugh at the fact that he's destabilising Manchester United on the eve of what is a really big game for them. Could be the difference between the Champions League knockout stages or joining Arsenal in the Europa League. So let it happen. Mina Raiola, let him knock himself out. I don't really care what goes on at United. As long as it doesn't affect us, I'm all good to go. And the more drama that goes on over there, the better for us. I'd piss my armchair if Leipzig won, said an armchair. It's going to be a difficult game. I mean, fair play to PSG for dragging themselves back into that group, but it's all to play for, and I'm going to be an intrigued viewer of that one tomorrow. It's a game I would have been watching anyway, regardless of whether we were doing the watch-along or not. So, any news on Milner? Danny, I've not seen any update yet on Jimmy Milner, but you know he is back doing a few bits, so I wouldn't say it'd be too long before we see James Milner back in that squad. Maybe for Fulham, I'm not sure. Again, as the week goes on, we'll get more information on that one as well. But look, I suppose the big story, folks, are around the title of this stream. People want to know what's going on with GINI Wijnaldum, and people want to know what may be going on with Fabinho. So let's start with the latter first. Fabinho. It looks like his contract with the club runs until 2023, if my memory is correct, and he currently earns in and around the 100 grand a week. Liverpool want to tie him down and secure him on a new deal, and obviously give him a pay rise that he so thoroughly deserves, and I'm all for it. Give the man a new contract. I'm sure his wage demands will be reasonable enough, and it is around the right time now. About 2 years to go on a contract, and if he's up in 2023, by the end of this season he'll have 2 seasons to go. So I'm fully behind the club looking to reward Fabinho, and I love the way that we do that with contract. You know, players come in, they get decent wages, a lot of incentives in the contract as well, but if they perform, the club aren't shy about putting a new contract in front of them and rewarding them for that good form. So again, brilliant news around the Fabinho stuff. I'm sure that we'll hear more about that in the coming weeks, but it's great to hear that the club already have that in mind. And with regards to GINI Wijnaldum, Kevin Palmer, I think, broke a story on this that suggested that they are going to sit down. The club and GINI Wijnaldum will sit down again to talk about his contract situation in the coming weeks. It's looking like a 3-year deal could be potentially on the table, but it seems like the sticking point actually might be around the finances of the deal. At least that's what's being reported. Now, I can't imagine that GINI Wijnaldum will throw a number at the club that isn't reasonable. He'll have a rough idea of what the top earners of the club earn. The Mohamed Salahs, Sadio Mane's, Firmino's, Van Dijk's. And he should be up there. In my opinion, he has earned the right to get that contract. So if GINI Wijnaldum's, let's just throw a number out there. If GINI Wijnaldum wanted 130, 150 a week, I think he's earned it. I think that he's earned it. He's a senior player at the club, always fit, always available, a turn 2 for the manager. And we all hope that this can be sorted out and that GINI Wijnaldum signs on for the next 3 years, maybe with an even option of another year, because he may be in his 30s now, but GINI will play till he's 35, 36. I've got no doubt about that. The man is always fit. So to me, I think most Liverpool fans that I've spoken with about this as well, we hope it can get resolved. It's great to hear that the club and GINI are again going to look to sit down, or at least GINI's representatives sit down and try and hammer out a deal. There will, of course, be interest coming up from a lot of clubs around Europe, knowing that he can sign a pre-contract with any club outside of England from January, because he's into the last 6 months of his deal then. So, you know, fingers crossed, and, you know, hopefully there's good vibes coming out. You get the impression that GINI wants to stay. At least I get the impression from when I hear him speak and watch him that he's not somebody that's at all unhappy. He looks at home at Liverpool. So I hope he signs that new deal. But I want to know what you guys think about it. Ali said, do you think he'll sign an extension and not go to Barcelona? Again, I hope so, buddy. I really do. Cube said both deserve new contracts. I can't disagree with you. Arteta at the wheel. How crazy is the Arsenal situation? What are they, 15th or something in the league right now? I remember when they signed Thomas Partey right at the end of the summer window. You know, there was all the party puns as you'd expect, but they thought that was going to push them on, and for whatever reason, it's just not working. Aubameyang's not firing on all cylinders like he was before the new deal. And again, look, it's not a Liverpool problem. We've had enough of our own this season between VAR calls and injuries and stuff like that, but it was great to get a call go our way yesterday, wasn't it, against Wolves. It was the correct decision, by the way. Sadio Mane definitely pulled out of it. Connor spotted it before me when we were doing the watch-along. And yeah, good to see the decision overturned and no penalty given because it wasn't a penalty. When will Shaqiri be back? Ali, I would say very soon. I would be amazed actually if he's not available for the Fulham game, because again, he was back doing bits and training as well. And the talk was that Shaqiri, Keita and Trent would be in and around the same time frame, so hopefully not too long. Are we still desperate for a defender? The phrase desperate is not something the club will be putting out there anyway, because you know that will put the price tag up immediately. But yes, I mean, there's been stuff saying we're looking at Canade, stuff saying we're looking up at Upamecano. You know, I've been speaking about Per Schurz. There's the whole Ben White stuff. And it remains to be seen who we will go after, or if we'll be able to get a deal done in January. But like everybody else, I sincerely hope that we do. And as and when I get more information on that, I will, of course, let you guys know. I would give GINI the moon on the stick as well as Fabinho. Both of them thoroughly deserve new deals, mate. Elevator kids at Arsenal could be relegated. I don't think it'll get to that stage now, to be honest. But it is crazy what's going on there at the minute. What do you make of FSG expanding Anfield? Brilliant. It's more great news. For those, I'm sure everybody knows this, but for those that may not be aware, this week or late last week, the club put in the application for planning permission, a revised application to extend the Anfield Road end by 7,000 seats. That would, of course, bring the capacity at Anfield up to somewhere around the 61,000 mark. There's a few other bits along with this as well. The application also included the proposal to stage other sporting events and concerts at Anfield. There was worries at one point that they might have to close the road behind the GINI road end, but this revised plans make sure that doesn't happen as well. And the time frame for building will be about 18 months from whenever building work begins. And as we spoke about before, the club have always had the money for this put aside as well. But this will take FSG's investment in the club since buying it in infrastructure to over 200 million. So we've got the new main stand, we'll have the GINI road end, obviously that fantastic new training facility, the improvements in and around Anfield as well, the new club store, lots of stuff. So credit where it's due. It's brilliant. I'm so happy. The thoughts of Anfield up at 61,000 is brilliant as well. And look, just having 2,000 fans back against Wolves was amazing, wasn't it? You heard the noise that they created. You seen Kloppo at the end going giving his fist pumps to the supporters, and he actually spoke about the goosebumps and stuff that he and the players had with 2,000 fans being back inside. And I hope that this is the start of fans starting to return in greater numbers as well. LFC News said next to Upamecano, he's good, we look at him instead, as in Konate, mate. That's the guy that you're talking about. An armchair said GINI is essential to the squad harmony, which of course he is. What do I think Pogba is worth? I'd rather have Curtis Jones, said Dara. It's a very difficult question, that, actually, man. What is Pogba worth? I mean, let's be frank about this. He's done very little since he went back to United, but he looked a different player completely at Juventus under Allegri, so I don't know if it's a system, an attitude thing, not liking where he is, but, you know, he had his own free will, 90 million quid to go back there. I can't imagine they'll be getting their 90 million quid back anyway, put it that way, but in a market where Real are broke, Barca are broke, will Juve come back in for him? I sincerely doubt it unless they get him at a knockdown price. So where is he going to move to? Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, they could look at him as maybe a Neymar and Mbappe replacement to appease fans. But yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't pay more than 40 to 50 million for him if I was any club. But again, it'll be interesting to see what Mino Raiola can get out of somebody for Pogba. 50 million seems to be a number there in the chat that a lot of you guys are thinking as well. Very specific, Daniel O'Brien. 67 million. I like that one, mate. We're going back to backs at Elevator Kid. Indeed we are, mate. I'm being fully on board that train from day one, and I'm glad to see that more people are starting to come around to it. Yeah, we've had a difficult start to the season, both from a fixture perspective, from an injury perspective, and there we are, joint top of the table with Spurs, of course, who are ahead of us in goal difference. So I ain't complaining right now. I think we're in a very good position, and I think we'll push on from here. United will get their money back on Pogba. Mate, honestly, best of luck getting 90 million quid for Pogba. If they get it, Mino Raiola has earned every cent that he gets, to be honest with you, because he is not worth 90 million quid right now. He'd be good at PSG, said Base Face in Space. Yeah, and I think that's a fit that could well happen. You know, there's talk of Neymar wanting to be hooked back up with Messi, so maybe they'll take Messi from Barcelona. I don't know. Kylian Mbappe, they're in contract talks right now, actually, PSG with Kylian Mbappe, looking to get him to extend. If they cannot get him to extend, then they're going to want to bring in a French face, aren't they? You know, they're a French club, they're a proud French club, so maybe Paul Pogba will be the solution there. Either way, it's a whole lot of not our problem, isn't it? It's great that it's a whole lot of not our problem. If GINI goes, Dortmund will get Haaland. I think we'll get Haaland one way or the other, Cube. I mean, some people are saying to me, don't be silly, Mina Raiola's his agent, you won't get him, he'll break the wage structure. I don't think he'll look for too much wages. Even at the age of, what would he be then? 21, 22 in 2022 when that release clause kicks in for Haaland's deal. I think we should be in that conversation, and I think we probably will be in that conversation. Will Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Alisson, Shaqiri be back for Sunday? Alisson, I think it could be close. I don't want to say either way. Milner, I genuinely don't know. Shaqiri, I think yes, but Milner, I don't know. But when I get more info on that, of course, we're a good bit away from Sunday. I'll give you that as and when I get it. Haaland's agent is Mina Raiola. Klopp won't deal with him. Klopp doesn't have to deal with him, mate. Michael Edwards would have to deal with him. And you never know. A lot can happen in 2 years' time. Who's to say he doesn't change agencies? I don't know if it will or won't happen, but again, we'll wait and see. United will never get their money back. They'll be lucky to get half of that, said David Newell. Surely they'll have to sell Mbappe to afford Messi. Messi will be on a free contract, Lizzie. His wages, of course. I mean, I think... Am I right in saying that Messi earns some staggering amount, like €100 million a year or something at Barcelona? But, he can leave Barcelona for free in the summer, so they won't have to pay a huge transfer fee or anything for him. Would I like Liverpool? Who would I like Liverpool to play in the round of 16? Alio, I'm not too fussed, mate, to be honest with you. I seen a shout earlier on for Lazio, which would be interesting. Haven't played Lazio in a long time, so if Lazio were to take second place, I wouldn't mind that one bit. I really don't mind who we get, to be honest with you, because you're going to have to, beat the best to be the best. So the only thing I've always said is, and we can't get them in the next round, but I would always like to play Bayern Munich if we had to play them over 2 legs rather than once off in a final. I think it would be better for the world of football as well, because finals are generally fairly dab affairs. So for me, I'd rather, if we were to get Bayern, it to be a two-legged affair. Can Spurs be champions? They're joint top of the league right now, mate. If they can keep everybody injury free, if Bale comes into a little bit more form, who's to say they won't add somebody in January? I mean, they could be there or thereabouts. I mean, it's a very strange season, and yes, I still think we'll go back to back. I still think we'll win the Premier League, but Chelsea have to be thought about, Spurs have to be thought about, even though my initial instinct is that they'll fall away a little bit when they pick up a couple of injuries and stuff. But yes, Spurs could win the Premier League. It would be a huge achievement for them. It would probably go down as one of Mourinho's biggest successes. But again, it's a long way to go. It's a long, long way to go in the season. Not Atletico, I agree with that one. Stay away from Atletico if at all possible, because they're in flying form, top of La Liga, and we know how difficult Atletico are. So I agree. I don't want to get Atletico. That would be one team I certainly wouldn't mind avoiding. GINI was voted Liverpool's man of the match last night. Depends on where you looked, mate. But yes, if Liverpool voted him for it, fair enough. Our vote went to... Who did our vote go to? I think ours went to GINI as well. Interestingly enough, Sky gave man of the match to Mohamed Salah last night. You could talk about Robbo again. I thought Robbo put in a great shift. Elevator Kid wants Barca or Lazio. And again, mate, without being arrogant, I think we would easily dispose of either of those two teams. I mean, I think Barca shit themselves if they came up against us again. They'd say they've a point to prove. They'd give it all that, but they're not great at the minute at all. And Lazio, it would be interesting because we haven't played them in a while, and be nice to come up against Lucas Leiva again, wouldn't it? And Pepe Reina, of course. Mr. Morrissey's in the house. Brian, how are you, buddy? Easy win versus Spurs, said Kevin. I think we'll beat Spurs as well, mate. But, let's wait and see what happens. It's a week from Wednesday, that game. We've got Fulham coming up on Sunday, and then we've got Spurs coming up on the Wednesday. Barca would be a lovely draw, said Lewis Kelly. Though I think Liverpool should make more key investments. By key investments, Ali, do you mean in the squad, or are we talking about with regards to infrastructure or stuff, mate? We want Sevilla. Yeah, Sevilla, another team of quality shithouses, and I mean that as a compliment. I don't mean that in a derogatory manner. They're a very streetwise team, Sevilla. It's something I've always admired about them. And look, I was quite surprised that Chelsea managed to go over there and destroy them 4-0 with Giroud scoring all the goals. That was a big result for Chelsea, a bit of a statement as well. Leipzig would be great, yeah. If Leipzig get through, and let's hope that they do, and again, I will be covering that game tomorrow on our second channel, Mundo Sporto, so please subscribe to that one, folks. We're nearly at 2,500 subscribers. We'd love to get there, and of course, continue to push on. But yeah, Leipzig would be a belter of a tie as well. Let's beat Spurs. They were bad against Arsenal. Park the bus. I looked at that game and I didn't see, apart from Son's goal, which was pure quality. Let's be fair, it was brilliant. I didn't see too much that worried me in that game. Madrid would be a good draw, said Real Madrid, said Charlie Reid. I like our games between Christmas and New Year. Very favourable games, said George. Yeah, look, mate, we had a really difficult start to the season, didn't we? And I'm not saying we had it harder than anybody else. You play everybody twice in a league campaign, but you know, we're 11 games in now. We've played Everton away, we've played Chelsea away, we've played Manchester City away, we've played Arsenal at home, we've played Leeds in a very difficult game at home as well, and I'm probably forgetting a couple more tricky fixtures as well. Anyway, difficult start to the season. This is where my mind goes blank, you know. But tough, and to be joined top of the table now, I'm happy with where we are. And this is without, of course, Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez and all the other headaches we've had. No Thiago as well. We've only seen Thiago for 45 minutes against Chelsea, and of course that game against Everton where Richarlison assaulted him and he still hasn't been able to play. Tough question, Craig. Who would you rather see pass tomorrow, United or PSG? PSG are going to get through. Let's be frank about it. I think it all comes down to who goes through between United and I expect PSG to deal with Istanbul fairly handily, but it's then down to United, Leipzig, and I want Leipzig to go through. Of course I do. I'll always have a begrudging respect towards United, but you know, this is a one-off game pretty much. United just need not to lose to qualify. Leipzig need to go and win, so it should be an entertaining affair. I think PSG will go through, even though I don't like them either. But yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to watching the game tomorrow. Kieran, John Messi, thank you for the super chat. Why do I like Robertson so much and I ain't even a red? Robertson so much, excuse me, and I ain't even a red. He's just that type of fella, isn't he? I mean, there's some footballers that you look at and you just think, sound guy. Like N'Golo Kante, you look at him and you can't help but think, yeah, decent skin. And I think Robbo's just one of them, does a lot of good charity work, as a lot of footballers do. And most importantly, what you want as a fan when somebody pulls on whatever your club shirt is you want them to give 100%. And you get that from Andy Robertson every single time. So I can get, mate, why he's appealing to even non-Liverpool fans. He's just a good old fella, isn't he? An armchair said Tsimikas on Wednesday. Again, I don't want to give away too much about predicted 11 because the preview's coming out tomorrow. But yes, Kostas Tsimikas is who I have at left back in my system anyway. Do I think Klopp deserves a statue once retired? I don't think Klopp would want the statue. I don't think that would be up Jurgen Klopp's alleyway, if you get where I'm coming from. I mean, Klopp will go down in Liverpool folklore alongside some great managers over the years, of course, but nah, for me on a statue front, mate. Maybe in his native Germany, of course. Maybe his hometown or something. And he deserves all the accolades he gets. And look, we love him to bits. And I hope he stays on for further than 2024. But, you know, there's still a long time to achieve more stuff. So let's just wait and see what happens over the next few years. Just play Kelleher on Wednesday. No outfield player, said Neil Davies. Good show, buddy. Keegan Murphy said, hey, Craig, love to the family. Thank you very much, mate. I actually ventured outside today. I actually did it. This is only the 4th time since March that I've left my home. And I'm not joking. I went out with my wife to Tesco. Of course, put my mask on and everything as you're supposed to do and respected all the rules. But it was nervous. I was nervous. It was nerve-wracking for me. You know, my anxiety issues and stuff. But yeah, I ventured out and about today and I'm happy I did. I'm happy I did, folks. Put it that way. But family are all good, mate. Sorry, Keegan. Yeah, thank you for asking. I hope yours are as well. Chelsea fans really say Chilwell over Robbo. Look, I'm big enough and ugly enough to admit that Ben Chilwell is a very good footballer and he's a quality left back, no doubt about it. But Robbo is Robbo. To me, we have the 2 best fullbacks in the Premier League, maybe even in Europe. Other clubs always try and compare their players to Liverpool players or say that they're better than, because it's actually a mark of respect to our guys. And look, let other clubs' fans wish or think that their players are better. It doesn't really matter to us, does it? We know we've got quality, we know we've got Robbo, we know we've got Trent, and we know that they're both class, so let them think what they want. I mean, there's a lot of deluded opposition fans out there, just as there's probably a lot of deluded Reds out there. Myself may be one of them. Actually, definitely one of them, if we're being honest about it. Benteke scored the same amount of goals as Greenwood, Martial and Van der Beek combined with David Newell. Oh man, United, they just the gift that keeps giving at times. But the league form has been decent, to be fair. They're starting to scrape their way back into the fight for those Champions League places. Keegan said, you went outside, nice one bro. I know, this sounds really cringy and cheesy, doesn't it? Well, for me it was a bit of a big thing. Love your channel and I'm a United fan, said Shazad. Thank you so much, buddy. We really appreciate you coming over and watching with us, and it's lovely that opposition fans drop in as well from time to time, mate. And if anybody enjoys what we do, we really appreciate it. Let me just ask you one little favour, folks. If you are enjoying it, you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that button, drop a like on the video as well. But give me a thumbs up if you have subscribed to our second channel, Mundo Sporto, in the chat, folks. Trying to gauge, who has come over, who hasn't. We're at about nearly 2,500 subscribers, and again, Mundo Sporto will be where we'll be doing the United game tomorrow. So give me a thumbs up in the chat if you have subscribed to our second channel. And again, if you're going to have a little flutter on the Champions League games coming up this week, why not choose the link in our description and head over to Boyle Sports for some cracking offers over there. If you're in the UK or Ireland and you haven't signed up, you'll be guaranteed a free bet as well when you deposit your first tenner and place your bet. And there's loads of other great perks as well. For instance, in the North London Derby, they had a no-lose 10 quid offer. I stuck my tenner on a bet, it didn't come in, and I got a free bet for it, so why not? Again, we do always urge people to gamble responsibly, and Boyle Sports only wants you going over there putting on £1 or £2 or a fiver and enjoying yourself. That to me is what gambling should be, just a little bit of extra added enjoyment to any games and stuff like that. There was something else I wanted to say actually around all that stuff, but my mind's gone blank, so I'll push on. Ricky said subscribed a while back and loads of thumbs up in the chat, which again is brilliant for us. Thank you so much. Did anybody watch the Ryan Brewster clip, Ryan Brewster's dad clip earlier on? Excuse me. I just kicked my yoke. Let me just fix that. I put out a clip earlier on. Connor put out an 8-minute clip from our interview with Ian Brewster, Ryan's father. Full interview is going to go out tomorrow on the channel, but if you have a chance, please check out that. And we'll be getting Ian on again for some talk about the Reds, because Ian's a massive Liverpool fan. And there's lots of other stuff coming up that my memory is escaping me this week, folks. It's a really busy week on the channel. I'm subbed to all 3 channels, said Danny Dog, mate. Legend. Thank you, sir. And I know a lot of you guys will be as well, and thank you to everyone. And again, welcome to all of our new members. A few new members came on board yesterday during the watch-along of the Wolves game, so again, thank you and welcome to all of our new members. If you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, which is what we call our membership group, click on the blue join button. It's $4.99 a month. You get all the emojis, you get the custom Anfield Agenda logo beside your name, and you get into our Discord group, which is where we dish all the secrets, where we give out the team news if we get it early, transfer gossip and all that stuff as well. I haven't got notification, mate. It is the bane of a YouTuber's life, this notification stuff, honestly. There's nothing that we can do about it, and it frustrates us as much as it frustrates anybody else who doesn't get a notification, trust me. GINI20 said I'm waiting for the full interview. Thank you, mate, and again, I sincerely mean that. I hope you enjoy it when it comes out. I watched the interview. Well, it was only an 8-minute segment of it. The full interview was 55 minutes, and again, that's going up tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that, along with our preview as well. So even though I won't be streaming on Anfield Agenda tomorrow, we will have 2 videos going out: the full interview with Ian and the preview for the Midtjylland game as well, with my predicted score and predicted starting 11. And the only reason I'm not streaming tomorrow is because I am streaming, but I'm on the Sporto, of course, because we're doing the United game. Can we hit 100 likes for Craig, said Charlie Reid. I'm sure we probably can, mate. I'm sure we can. Oh, and again, 1,250 likes on the watch along yesterday. You guys, we asked you, can we hit 1,000? As always, you show your support abundantly, and it means the world to us. So it was great having Connor here with me for the watch along yesterday. I think it really added something to it. It was lovely to be able to get Connor's opinion on moments during the game as well. So hopefully, as restrictions settle down a little bit, I'm hoping that Connor can become a more regular feature on the watch-alongs. I think it works very well when we have him on audio and not in the video, because it allows him to do some work in the background as well. But I really enjoyed having Connor here yesterday for the watch-along and the post-match show as well. And I know from the comments a lot of you guys enjoyed having him on, so thank you for that. Hi Craig, love your channel, said LFC fan. It's still weird, mate, hearing stuff like that, because anyone who knows me knows that I am a very unassuming type of person. I don't believe there's any hype around what I do or what we do, and I don't even know why people watch. But for people to say they love the channel, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what the appeal is. Again, I shouldn't be saying that, but I don't. But I really appreciate it, and I know Connor does as well. Shouldn't expect an easy game against Fulham, said Neil. Look, let's be fair. Of all the teams that we should be coming up against, look, Fulham aren't great at all. Again, you have to perform. I get that. It's the Premier League and all that stuff, but we should be beating Fulham. Even at the Cottage, we should be beating them. Alisson should be back for the Spurs game, said David Newell, which is a great boost as well. I mean, Queeveen's done very well in the games he's played, but Alisson is our boy, so hopefully he is back. What else have we got? Having Connor was a great addition for you too. Yeah, it was lovely for me. It was lovely. I haven't seen Connor in probably over 2 months because of the restrictions. So yeah, it was lovely for Connor. And again, Connor had to drive about an hour and a half each way to get to my house, and he didn't leave here until about midnight. So again, for Connor to take the time like that and come up, it was brilliant. And I hope you guys enjoy it, because I want to do more of it. Any news on Thiago? No, and there probably won't be this side of Christmas. So in my head, I'm looking at the new year for Thiago. But if anything happens beforehand, of course, I'll give you an update as and when the info comes in. Craig, do you think we should sign Cantwell in the near future? Weird one. I haven't kept track of Todd Cantwell, actually. Now, it looks like Norwich are in a good position to maybe come back up into the Premier League, but I have to be honest and say, yes, I watched Cantwell quite a bit when he was in the Premier League with Norwich, and he impressed me, but I haven't kept tabs on him this season at all. But I am surprised somebody hasn't gone in there to try and get him, because I like him as a player. And I know the club have been monitoring him, but, you know, we monitor a lot of players, as you'd expect. I'm subbed to all 3 channels. I know you are, Kevin Smith. I really appreciate it, buddy. And thank you, Kevin, for all your comments and views, mate. Really appreciate it. Sky Sports need to get Craig on Super Sunday. I often wonder about that, Louis. Would I do it? Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if I could ever do mainstream. I mean, ability-wise, I'd back myself to come on and talk, because I'm Irish. Irish people can talk. It's one of the things we're very good at. But I don't know. If the offer ever came in to do something mainstream like that, I don't know if I'd do it. I certainly wouldn't give up Anfield Agenda, and I think I've proven that, because I've turned down a full-time job offer in media because it wouldn't have allowed me to stay with Anfield Agenda. And Anfield Agenda is my baby, as it is Connor's. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday, you never know. I don't think they'll ever come a calling, though. I think there's a reputation out there that I'm, you know, just a loudmouth who swears a lot. And I think I'm a bit more than that, to be honest with you. I think people just see certain moments and associate it with you, and, you know, shit sticks apparently. But hey, I enjoy myself. I enjoy chatting with you guys, so let's see what happens. Jake said, hi Craig, about GINI was amazing versus Wolves. What a player. He was quality, man. And again, I hope he signs that new deal, and it's great to hear that the club will be sitting down with his representatives in the coming weeks to try and hammer out that deal. Being with Mundo Sporto from day one, said David Newell. Legend, mate. Appreciate that. Great win last night. Really happy. Any news on our injuries? Again, James, just waiting to hear more from the gaffer. You'd expect Shaqiri shouldn't be too far away. Milner probably shouldn't be too far away. And we know Alisson should hopefully be ready for the Spurs game. Again, the long-term injuries, though, no, nothing too much on. And again, nothing really on Thiago. Farwell's in the house. Dave, how are we, my friend? Just tell them to ensure they have a 7-second delay in case the word slips. This is another thing I have a little gripe with. So, again, I'm going to go on a tangent here for a minute, folks. But you know I enjoy them. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are fans of boxing, much like myself. Does it annoy anybody else that boxing, usually the main fights and that, would be on after 10 p.m. at night time? And a lot of the time you pay your box office price for it as well. But it's a little gripe of mine that, you know, when they go into the corner during the rounds and they hear the coach talking or the cutman talking or whoever it is, maybe a bit of bad language slips out from time to time. It annoys me that television companies still feel like they need to apologise for that. We're tuning in to watch boxing after the watershed. Maybe you've even paid for it because it's pay-per-view. We expect it because it's emotion. And this is where I think the television companies miss out on what people like about fan media. I think that they bring some people on, but then they strip them a lot of the time of everything that made them who they were, everything that drew people towards them. So for me, my rants, my anger, I suppose my emotional nature is who I am. And that's maybe, I think, why people may watch. And I think it's why people will watch Mark, and it's why people will watch any other fan channels, because it's that raw emotion and people look at it and I think people see themselves. But what we don't see when we look at TV, and there are some great pundits, don't get me wrong, but we don't see ourselves. We see former players or former people associated with the game, and sometimes their input is absolutely phenomenal. You hear things at times and you go, wow, but then other times you see stuff and you go, what? Why is this like given a platform? I don't know, it's just my take on it, and I think that they will never be able to replicate the authenticity of a fan channel. That's what I think they're missing out on. Mohammed said, how do I donate? I don't know, mate. Become a member, hit the super chat button, drop a super sticker, but either way, mate, just lovely to have you in, and thank you for watching. Craig, my favourite Liverpool player was Mane, a belter of a player, mate. I understand why you love him. I love Sadio as well, and some of the stuff that he was doing yesterday, particularly in tight areas, he's amazing. I love Sadio Mane so much. What have we got? Yeah, I mean, it's late, paid for, mostly adults. Let's not all crumble at a 4-letter word. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I'm sure that we all hear it from day to day. I'm sure I know my children certainly hear bad language, and I'm not going to apologise for that. It is who I am. When your team scored a last minute goal, you stopped using your brain for a couple of seconds. Yeah, man, when your team score a last minute goal, all bets are off. I mean, tops could come off, words could come out, drinks could go flying. It's part of the fun. Unless VAR comes and ruins that moment, of course. Any news on Oxlade-Chamberlain? Again, not really, other than the rehab that we're seeing. And again, it's going to be great to have Chamberlain back as well. Another great option. I heard something actually. Do you remember Subboslai, the guy from Salzburg, who we were looking at? The name, you probably remember the name from me playing the pronunciation with my phone because I couldn't say it. Real Madrid are apparently interested in Subboslai as well, so keep an eye on that one. I'd seen that in a column yesterday somewhere, so you know, it looks like if Liverpool are interested in them, we certainly won't have a free run at them. But again, just a bit of a heads up on that one. Uchi Gucci, what a name that is, mate. I mean that sincerely. Uchi Gucci's class. Hi Craig, love seeing you make content. Thank you, pal. I love doing it. It's just great fun. I watch AFTV for the meltdowns. They're starting Arteta out movement. I don't get it. I don't like AFTV. I don't get why people watch it. All they do is bitch and moan from start to finish, smash stuff up, jump around. I'm sure there are some insightful moments on there as well, but of me, and I love fan content, love it, I'm just not a fan of AFTV. Nothing against the individuals. I've met Troops before. He was absolutely lovely. I filmed something with Robbie. He seemed decent enough as well. Never met DT, never done nothing with him. I just don't like the fucking channel. I've said it consistently, and I wouldn't want people tuning in just to see me melting down. I mean, they make a nice living off it, I'm sure, and I wouldn't begrudge anybody a penny because I know the work that goes into making content, but it isn't my cup of tea. It just isn't my cup of tea. I'd much rather watch Mark, for instance, and get some of his witty humour and stuff like that. I think he's more entertaining. But again, each to their own. Your opinion on Nat Phillips? Well, my opinion, Kevin, at the moment is thank Christ we didn't sell him, particularly when Bristol were interested in the summer. He will go on and have a good steady career, Nat Phillips. He deserves to. I don't know if it'll be at Liverpool. In fact, I think it probably won't, but a good solid centre-back that, you know, can be trusted to do a job, but hasn't got all the attributes that we would need to have him at the club long term. But again, a very good footballer. What about the United stand? Mark's a good friend of mine, and Drawdy's a good friend of mine, and they are, to me, yeah, the United stand, the work rate particularly out of the United stand is phenomenal. Obviously, I want United to do horrendously, but as a channel, quality. I mean, effort, work, consistency, humour. I like it. The United Stand is a good channel. I can see why it's done so well, and I hope it continues to do so well. Unlike the club, who I hope, of course, do horrendously. But yeah, great channel. Great lads behind it as well. What is in it? Klopp is... I don't know what this feels. Huey Wizzy is the only Arsenal fan I can watch. Am I right in saying that he's stepped away from the kickoff? Somebody said that to me the other day as well, which is another great show, by the way. Kickoff class. Rory Jennings, who's on the kickoff, met him. Lovely fella. We've met Lawrence as well. Really nice guy. Never met the big man yet. Hopefully I get to meet Brian someday. But again, kickoff, another fantastic piece of content. Arsenal's channel is funny right now. It's all gone quiet over there. Repeat. It's just same old to me, man. Just come on, bitch, moan, have a tantrum. That's it to me. That's all I ever see. But again, I don't watch it religiously, so I'm sure that there are some very insightful segments on the channel that don't get the airtime perhaps that, the rants do, because people love to point and laugh. I know that only too well after the Villa defeat, where I spent a couple of weeks and I'm still getting people to this day calling me a living meme because of that 7-2 thing, and it's what we do, to be fair. So Mark Goldberg has been on form today over Pogba. I haven't actually had a chance to read what Mark has been saying today, but look, if I'm a United fan and that Pogba stuff comes out today on the eve of a massive game that could either decide your fate in the Champions League of the last 16 or put you into the Europa League, I'll understand any United fan who is almightily pissed off at not only Pogba but his agent. So, they have my sympathies on that one a small bit, because, I don't give a shit about the club, but I can understand why they'd be up in arms. 5 Wolves fans climbing over the turnstile at Anfield last night, apparently. I don't know. Oh, yeah, sorry, I missed the joke. Policeman told him to go back and watch the rest of the game. Sorry, mate. Happy Couch said, I've supported Liverpool since 97. Favourite player from the 90s? God. Robbie Fowler. He's my favourite Liverpool player of all time, mate. Yeah, Robbie Fowler, without a doubt. But there's been some really good players that have from whatever reason, injury a lot of the time, like Rob Jones, as an example. I think he would have went on to have been one of the greatest right backs of his era if he hadn't had the injuries. But yeah, definitely Robbie Fowler. Yeah, Robbie Fowler, bleach blonde hair, green and white checkered shirt. Yeah, that Robbie Fowler. What have we got? Raz said, can't stand Goldberg and Saeed. Again, mate, each to their own. I mean, I'm sure people look at me and think I'm an absolute gobshite, and then other people will come in and go, yeah, this lad's alright. I mean, I have full respect for everybody that makes content, fan content or otherwise, because I know the hard work that goes into it, and I know the hours that goes into it, so I will never be disparaging towards anybody like that, because even though I mightn't like the content, I fully respect and appreciate the work that goes into it. Arteta will take time. I wouldn't jib him off. Look, my own 2 cents on that, and it is just my own 2 cents, is that the Arsenal board are the problem. If I'm looking from the outside, no matter what manager you bring in, unless you get substantial funds and time, because time is important. Klopp didn't turn Liverpool around overnight. There was steady progression, and we are where we are now because of that. So I think the board need to step up a bit there at Arsenal as well. But, remember the days where they were complaining about getting Champions League football every single season under Arsene Wenger? I bet you they'd love to have those days back right now. Josh, I'm really well, mate. Thank you. I hope you are as well. McManaman leaving made me cry like a girl, said Walter. Yeah, it was tough to see Macca leave, alright. It was great to hear him explain the whole story around it as well, and why he did go at the time. And what a player Steve McManaman was, both for Liverpool and Real Madrid, of course. What have we got? Once the eyes adjust to the shine from your head, the content's amazing. Yeah, I'll get it. But as I say, I'll put the work in for this shiny chrome dome for you, ladies and gentlemen. I make sure it's nice and shiny every day. I may start wearing a baseball cap or something like that. You're doing a fantastic job, said Ross. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I really do. What do I think? Oh, yeah, we haven't even spoken about the Floyd Mayweather thing. Right, for those that aren't aware, and I can't believe I'm about to utter these words, Floyd Mayweather, I think on February the 20th, will be fighting Logan Paul Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I don't even know where to go with it, folks. I mean, my first initial instinct is, why did Logan get the fight and why did why did KSI not get the fight? Logan has not won a boxing match yet, and yet here he is fighting Floyd Mayweather. Now, I don't begrudge him the payday because I'm sure he'll make a shiny few quid from it. But, I would have thought KSI would have been in line for that fight, surely. Again, I think KSI's trainer is signed up to Mayweather Promotions, if my memory's right. I don't know. I don't know what to say, folks. I really don't. I mean, I'll leave you to it on that one. I really don't even want to touch it, to be honest. I'm great, thanks, Josh. You're in the final stages of moving house. That's brilliant, man, and I know how stressful a house move can be. So hopefully you all get in and get settled before Christmas, mate. And have a wonderful holiday season. How many subs are we off 60k? 930, something like that. I think we're about 30 or 40 away from the next 100. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Logan Paul's going to get ripped apart. Of course he is. Now, what really baffles me on this is Floyd Mayweather, £147. Maybe he walks around a little bit heavier than that, but his fighting weight always been either 140, £147 throughout most of his career. Like a lot of boxers, he may have started off lighter, and as they go on a bit, they go up to the weights. I have no idea what weight this is going to be at, because again, to the best of my recollection, KSI Logan Paul was fought a cruiserweight, which is around the 14 stone mark. So there's going to have to be a catch weight, because there's no way I can see Logan Paul getting down to 10.5 stone. So what are they going to fight, maybe at light heavyweight or something, which is around the 12 stone and some change mark? I'm baffled. As I said, I really don't get this one. But I don't begrudge them the money. I mean, both of them will make a few quid out of it, and why not? But as an actual spectacle of boxing, it will be a farce, because you are fighting one of, if not the greatest defensive boxer that has ever stepped into a boxing ring. Floyd Mayweather is the master of the shoulder roll, the master of not getting hit. And Logan Paul didn't even let his hands go against KSI, even though he had a massive physical advantage. Look, if he can keep blagging these fights and getting millions and millions out of it, I'm not going to begrudge anyone a few quid. But from the point of view of anybody out there who may be casual to the sport, he shouldn't be laying a glove on Mayweather in that fight. Rabadan said Arsenal Brighton combined 11 was popular on Twitter the other day. It's scary for Gooners. Dunk, Maupay, Lamptey, White, Basuma. Yeah, and some good players there. Potter has some good players coming through at Brighton. I've supported Liverpool since the age of 6. I'm now 63. Your favourite player is King Kenny. I mean, what a player there, David. God, mate, 63, I'm 39. You must have some amazing memories, buddy, over the years, and thankfully creating some great new ones now with this group that we have. But I would have loved to have been able to see King Kenny in his heyday. I mean, I only caught his very end of his career and then his managerial career, of course. Can't believe what YouTube did to me. I don't know what you mean. TTV Klopp. Got no idea what you mean, but I can't believe what YouTube did to me. I don't know if YouTube doing anything to me, mate, but please feel free to explain, because I've no idea what it is. But Logan Paul, seriously, yeah, it's been announced. Both of them have posted about it. It is happening. The fight is a classic example of turning boxing into WWF. Yeah, look, I understand it will bring new eyes to the sport, and the YouTuber boxing stuff I've no issues with at all. Logan Paul, KSI want to get in a ring. Jake Paul, KSI, Anderson Gibb want to get in a ring. They dedicate themselves to it. They get into shape, and I respect anyone that steps into a boxing ring. And I understand the argument that it brings new eyes to the sport and stuff, but I don't know. Boxing has enough issues at the minute with regards to some really iffy judging and stuff like that, and like losing a lot of casual viewers over to UFC. So, I'm a boxing purist, and to me, YouTubers fighting YouTubers, I'm all for it. Why not? But when it goes to this, I'm not on it, folks. Sorry. What platform do you use for the streams, mate? We use OBS, which is what we put through the green screen and all like that. OBS is the platform that we use. Oh, the notifications. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. We hope the channel grows and hits 100k someday, and it doesn't really matter. I'll come on and I'll chat to 10 people or 10,000 people. I have as much fun either way. Thoughts on Dybala possibly coming to the Premier League? Every transfer window, these rumours come around about Dybala. I've seen some stuff suggesting that maybe we'll swap Salah for Dybala. I just don't buy into it, mate. But I like Dybala as a footballer, don't get me wrong. What are my views? Wednesday's team. Again, Paul, there's a full preview on that. I recorded it before the stream. You guys probably seen I accidentally went live because I'm a dope and I pressed the wrong button. But yeah, the preview with my predicted 11, my score predictions, all that stuff, mate, that's going to be dropping tomorrow morning. I think Connor's scheduled it for about 8 o'clock. And then, of course, our full interview with Ian Brewster, Rian's father, that will be airing tomorrow as well. So please make sure to check that one out. Craig versus Goldberg is the next match to be announced. They are far too different weight classes, to be fair. Plus, why would I want to fight Mark Goldberg? He's a friend of mine. I like Mark. No, I should absolutely not box Mark. I'm too big to box Mark, to be fair. There's too much of a weight difference. It would be very unfair. Now, you know, apart from the fact that I'm extremely unfit and Mark's way in better physical condition than I am, it's wrong weight divisions. It just wouldn't work. Nor would I want to fight Mark, of course. He's a mate. Jake Paul's calling out McGregor. Yeah, I hope that happens. Just because I'd love to see McGregor just go in and absolutely destroy him. What else have we got? Yep, armchairs. Oh, sorry about that one. For anyone who does wonder about our streams, by the way, every night it's pretty much 8:30 or 8:45 for the late night agendas. We're fairly consistent on when we do them. Now, if there's a watch along or something like that, you know, we probably won't be doing it. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night because I've still got a lot of work to do behind the scenes, believe it or not, to set up for tomorrow's game as well. But just a reminder that we will be live on Mundo Sporto, our other channel. Link in the description to that. Tomorrow for the Manchester United's trip over to Germany to take on Leipzig in a crunch game in that group, so please join us for that one. Of course, Wednesday it's a 5:55 p.m. kickoff, 5 to 6 early kickoff on Wednesday. We'll be live half an hour before that as well. And don't forget about our new channel, Anfield Agenda Clips, which Connor launched recently enough, and again the links to that are in the description. Most importantly though, I want to say thank you to you guys, a massive thank you to our really great sponsors, Boyle Sports. And if you're going to have a flutter this week on a game, use the link in our description, head over to Boyle, make sure you sign up, get your free bet when you deposit as well. Always gamble responsibly, and thank you to all of you. I don't really know what else to say. It's been a really relaxed, informal stream tonight, which is cool to have these every once in a while. But I'm going to go off, spend some time with the family, and lots of love to each and every one of you. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, enjoy your week.